Hello, welcome to the Katrina Johnson Show. I'm your host, Katrina Johnson. You can find me at katrinajohnson.online. Thank you for joining me today. I have a great show for you. Be sure to share and subscribe to my podcast. And without further ado, let's get into today's show. Thank you guys for joining me again for another edition of the Katrina Johnson Show. Happy to have you with me. Grateful for your listening support. So today I want to talk a little bit about hustle and grind. You know, it's all out there on the internet. Hustle, grind, and it's just, it makes you feel like a little intimidated sometimes when you hear that, because it's almost as though in order to succeed at anything is hustle and grind. It's hustle and grind. So that is just the, That's just the culture we're in right now. If you're an entrepreneur or, you're working daily on a 9 to 5, nevertheless, it's all about the hustle and the grind. I don't know about you guys, but hearing that, it does make you feel like you just got to go harder. You got to go harder. And I must say that I don't really agree with that whole hustle and grind. I think that everybody has to know what their limit is to how hard you hustle and grind. I know I've heard it said that I'll sleep when I'm dead, meaning some people just, they're workaholics or that type A personality when it comes to work. And that's okay if it works for you. For me, I already know I need sleep. I've always enjoyed sleeping, and I'm not lazy. Don't get me wrong now, because I get up and I work from the time I get up in the morning until it's time to go to bed at night. But sleep is just really important for me. And I'm sure it is for everyone. We have to have a certain amount of rest and sleep time to have our bodies to, recover from the day, to rest our brains, especially since we're so engaged in social media and the normal day life. Our bodies regenerate and restores while we sleep. And so I've always gotten, when I was younger, 8 hours of sleep was great for me. Now, that hasn't happened in many years. I think I'm average 6 hours. So as long as I've gotten my 6 hours of sleep, I'm good. And I get up in the morning and I'm, very alert and can take on the day. But I don't see myself working from the time I wake up until like 12, 1, 2 in the morning, and then with a few hours of sleep, I wouldn't be able to survive. And like I said earlier, I'm not sure if other people feel that way about the whole hustle and grind theme of this culture that we're in. But again, I think you have to determine what works for you. And there are so many examples of how you can accomplish your goals and get things done. And there's a lot of good information out there. I've even shared some things. However, do know that you have to look at your situation and then you have to determine what works for you. What works for me may not work for you. Some things that work for me may work for you. What works for you may not work for me, but some of the things that work for you may work for me. So it's just finding that happy medium. And the goal is to accomplish, to take charge of the things that you want to get done and do it. And that's in everyday life, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you're going to work every day, or you're a business person, you own your own business, you're an entrepreneur. Whatever the case is, we all have busy schedules and we have to figure out what works for us. I don't believe that it's black and white. I don't believe that it's a cookie cutter. It's about what works for you. And sometimes it takes a while to figure that out. As long as you're trying to figure it out, though, and you're testing different regimens to see what works, that's all that matters. And once you get that system going, then you'll see how it works. And I think I do this constantly. I try different things to see what works. And even sometimes doing things in a certain way may work for a period of time, and then you might need to graduate or rearrange some things and try something different depending on what it is you're doing. I don't know how most successful people do what they do when they say it's hustle and grind and I die, I'll sleep when I die and that type of thing. I don't know if that's all hype. Though I do know some people that are type A and they will keep going and they will keep grinding and they will end up successful. But then there are some people that do that very same thing and they are not successful. So I believe it's more to it than that. Having a good routine is very important. For example, for myself, I rise early and I'm the best in my earliest hours. So I get up anywhere between 4 and 6 in the morning, every morning. And I've had some really weird early rising hours lately, like 3 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't ask me why. Maybe I laid down to go to sleep a little earlier, and there were times I didn't, but I'd wake up at that hour. But you know something? If you wake up at an odd early hour and you're wide awake, that's something to look at. That's something to think about, because that could mean that there's something you need to be doing. So whether it's prayer, because a lot of times when that happens with me, I'll just go into prayer. I will just kind of start my day. I'll just kind of plan what I'm doing. I lay in bed and just kind of meditate on some things. And it's, again, if your body feels rested and you have, woken up, then engage in doing something. Because if you're like me and most people, that early morning, getting up like really early while other people are still asleep, may be your most creative time of the day. And so it is worth just considering. I know that I have gotten up really early, and because it's so early, I can think clearer. I can just kind of have a different focus. But mind you, I end up getting tired earlier throughout the day, and so that means I'll have to go to bed a little earlier. But again, I think when that happens, there's a reason for it. So I just kind of take advantage of that time and then go into creative mode in whatever it is I'm doing. I just want to share that whatever you need to do in order to reach success in your life, be sure that it is something that's going to work for you. There are a lot of books out there to tell us how to become successful, and they have a lot of good information in there. And that's something I will get more into and share later on as well. There's a lot of information out there, and I've read a lot of books, listened to a lot of different videos and webinars and things like that. And what I do is I just take from it the things that I know I can work with, because everything is not going to work for me, because I'm different from Jane or Sue. I'm me. I'm Katrina. So I have to look at realistically what will work for me and then apply that. And as long as I'm doing that, looking at it and being honest with how that type of routine is going to work in my life, then I can work with it. But if I try to put too much on me, it's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses, you know. I never want to do that. We never want to do that, right? We don't want to keep up with the Joneses. We want to do the best we can each and every day of our lives, but we want to make sure what we're doing and how we're applying the different techniques or routines within our life, that it is conducive to us as an individual. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that. I thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to the new year coming up. As I said last week, I will have people on the show that I'll be interviewing. It's all about inspiration, as you know. So I have some people that will share some very inspiring stories, authors, you name it. I'm going to have some folks on that will continue to go on this journey with us as we continue to work at staying inspired. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for joining me. Be sure to leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. Rate the show. And until next time, stay inspired.